Okay, it looks like I accidentally stopped the video. That was unintentional. But here's the shingle that has the damage right here. You can see that there's a loss of granules in here. That's what it looks like down below the shingle. There's been an accumulation of some organic matter down there. These are the shingles above. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to label this row here. This is the damaged row. And then we're going to have row number 1 and row number 2. And why don't we just go ahead and say row number 3. In order to remove this shingle here, we need to take the fasteners out under this row of shingles, and there's additional fasteners under row 2. So those fasteners have to be pulled out, all without doing any damage to the surrounding shingles. So, all right, let me try to reset the camera here so that we don't lose this. Let's see here. All right, hopefully that'll work. Looks like it's still running. Okay, again, we'll use this tool here to try to separate the glue strips so we don't do any unnecessary damage to the shingles. So here's the damaged shingle here. We know that one's loose. Yeah, let me see where it is. That's loose. All right, so this is the edge of the shingle. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. This is the shingle that's coming out. Well, these things are not glued down very well. All right, so that's separated. All right, so let me put this tool away. I should have picked a different shingle so I wasn't next to a sewer vent. All right, so this will be our first fastener here. Okay, that was nice and easy. All of those fasteners are out of the way for the first row. All right, now nice and easy. All right, so here's the old shingle right here. All right, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the camera off the stand, and we'll do a little couple comparisons here. We're gonna look at the old shingle, where it was. We're going to look at the shingles above that got a little bit manipulated from the first thing here. Let's compare the size and make sure they're on the money. Yeah, looks like we are perfectly sized here. All right, now put the new shingle here. Okay, the camera's still rolling. All right, so here is where the old shingle came out. There it is over there. Here's the new shingle. And here, well, there was where I had the B for back earlier. Here on this, okay, so now on row number 1 and row number 2, we are forming a crack here that was not there before. Row number 1, there is a little bit of one here. Row number 2, row number 2, row number 1, row number 1. There is felt here, but it seems to be torn or perforated there. Probably stuck to the bottom of the old shingle. All right, so that just kind of gives us an idea of where we are. Let me put the camera back here. Hopefully it won't stop. All right, we're still rolling, that's good. And we're gonna go ahead and get the new shingle in place. And here we go. Now, a lot of carriers, one of the good things about Allstate is Allstate wants to know, from my experience, wants to know whether a shingle is repairable or whether a slope is repairable or not. So a lot of carriers use something called a brittle test. And on a brittle test, what happens is, I'll use the new shingle here. They'll have you to lift the shingle approximately 45 degrees. And then afterwards, if there's any granule loss or any kind of stuff like that, you're gonna know, okay, well, it's brittle or whatever. And the problem is that sometimes it'll pass that brittle test, but in order to actually drive the nails in where they need to be, the shingle needs to come up much higher than 45 degrees. Maybe not 90 degrees, but you're trying to avoid striking the edge of the shingle with the nail. And so by insisting on repair videos, what that does is it lets us see a real-time example of what's going on, so that you protect the carrier's interest as well as the homeowner, because if you don't need a new roof, you don't need a new roof. All right, so I've got this in position here. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put in some fasteners. I'm going to use new fasteners for this because I have them. And let me get some out here. Anyway, yeah, but this shingle up here definitely has a crease in it. I mean, like when you're standing here, it's just right there in your face. I don't know if it shows up very well on the camera or not. Let's see here. Get my hammer. Let's see if we can drive some nails or some fasteners without breaking stuff, huh? What do you think? All right, so we got this lined up. It's in place here. Got my fancy magnetic hammer here, and I'm gonna try to get this out of the way so that, perfect, so that we can not hit the edge of the shingle. 2, 3. Well, there went my pitch gauge. All right, this one's a little bit stiff. 4. Now, We got to get those other nails up a little higher so that we don't okay. And then the final straw here. How about that? Okay, so let's get the camera back off the stand. And we'll go over the results here. I don't want to forget my pitch gauge. All right, we're still rolling.